to the pivotal moment in 1949 when the Basketball Association of America, BAA, and the National Basketball League, NBL, merged to form what we now know as the National Basketball Association, NBA. This moment, while celebrated as the birth of the modern NBA, was also marked by a significant and troubling exclusion that would shape the landscape of professional basketball for decades to come. When the BAA and NBL merged, they brought together the best of white basketball talent and solidified the NBA as the premier professional basketball league. However, this merger also marked a deliberate decision to exclude the Harlem Renaissance, one of the most dominant and influential African American teams in basketball history. The Harlem Renaissance, often referred to as the Rens, was a powerhouse in the Black Five era, a period when African American teams operated independently and flourished in the segregated world of sports. The Wrens, founded in 1923, were more than just a basketball team. They were a symbol of excellence and pride in the African American community. They won the first ever World Professional Basketball Tournament in 1939, defeating top white teams and proving that Black athletes could compete at the highest levels. Despite this, when the NBA was formed, the league's leadership chose to leave the Wrens out, a decision that wasn't just about basketball. It was about maintaining control over the burgeoning professional sport and, by extension, keeping African Americans out of the economic opportunities that the NBA represented. This exclusion had profound implications. By denying the Wrens entry into the NBA, the league effectively signaled that it was a white man's game, controlled by white owners and dominated by white players. This decision ushered in the end of the Black Five era, a time when African American teams and players had carved out their own space in the sport. The erasure of these teams from the professional landscape not only deprived Black athletes of the opportunity to compete at the highest level, but also robbed future generations of the legacy and history of those pioneering teams. The formation of the NBA, while a milestone in the history of professional basketball, also marked the beginning of a long struggle for African American athletes to gain equal footing in the sport. The league's reluctance to embrace Black talent in its early years is a reminder of the systemic racism that has pervaded American sports and society at large. It wasn't until years later, with the emergence of players like Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, that African Americans would begin to dominate the NBA. But even then, they faced challenges both on and off the court. In reflecting on this history, we must recognize the broader implications of the NBA's formation. It wasn't just about sports, it was about power, economics, and race. The exclusion of the Harlem Renaissance and other Black teams from the NBA was a clear message that African Americans were not welcome in the spaces where power and profit converged. The struggle to break into and eventually transform the NBA into the diverse league it is today is a testament to the resilience and excellence of Black athletes who, despite being denied opportunities, continued to push boundaries and redefine the game. So when we look at the NBA today, we must not forget this history. The league's success has been built on the talents and contributions of countless African American players, many of whom had to fight for their place in a league that was not designed for them. The story of the Harlem Renaissance and the end of the Black Five era is a crucial chapter in this history, a reminder of where we've come from and the work that still needs to be done to ensure that the playing field is truly level for all.
We feel the struggle, yeah, we know the game. We feel the future, remember the name. NBL the one. We feel the struggle, yeah, we know the game. We feel the future,